There's one last thing we need to be concerned about, and that is when we set the project configuration to something like this with the -C. If you remember, that's what makes our project make use of these coordinate guys. So it's going to use house coords text to set up the initial position, the scale, and the I guess that's the rotation. Okay, so we'll come up with initial values. The problem is that we need our slider to be set to those initial values. So see here we have initial position of 0, 0.5, and 1.1, and our sliders don't reflect that. They're all at the 0 position. All right. So let's do something about that. So if you remember, if we go to wrap loader, the thing that gives us the location information, the XYZ, is this getLoc method. And I guess the only thing we would have to worry about at this point is, does our W3D exist? But we know it does because we're calling this createXTransformer method on it. So let's stick in a W3D and getLoc. Now, for X, we're going to want the X guy of that, right? Let's see, constructor. Oh, yeah, so I think this will be fine once we fix the constructor. Let's see. So for the X panel, we want the X location. For the Y panel, see what I'm doing is I'm calling getLoc. getLoc returns the vector that we want, and then and make that X, Y, or Z as needed. All right. Oops. Okay, so we need to fix our pos panel here. So let's see, XPOS panel. So now this has, where did we put it? We put it as our second input, the transformer, and then the value, and then the, okay. So this is going to be a double, since it's a vector. Set panel title, set right icon, set left icon. Okay, so what we're going to need to do is make sure we have something in pos slider panel that knows what to do with that. So what we want to do is, before we set up the panel, right, we want to, because we don't want to trigger any, we don't want to fire any state changed methods at this point. We just want to set the slider. So I'm going to put it up here, and I'm going to say, oh, we have, but here's where we say pos slider. So maybe what I'll do, maybe actually I should have value, I should have like a value thing in here. So let's say double value. And we'll make that a private double value. And then we'll just stick. Oh, okay, so what we want is actually int value times 10, right? let's say we should have a oh no, it's a double, isn't it? Double. So we want to multiply by the scale and then make that be an int. That'll work. Okay, so so then in that case we really don't need to do anything with these guys except to make it a except to fix the constructor like that, right? Okay, so now hopefully it should reflect, it should reflect what is happening in the, yeah, it's kind of hard to tell with these small numbers. So let me make these numbers bigger just for kicks. Let me go into house coordinates and just temporarily make these 5.0. Make this one 5.0. So the y coordinate should be 5.0. So that should be a lot higher up, right? Let's see what happens with that. Oh, it's off the screen. Good, and see, and the slider is set up there. Nice. So now we bring it back down. Okay, good. Okay, so that's fixed. So now I'm happy. And you can look up the documentation on JSlider to see how to, set numbers on here and stuff like that. But we already have these numbers down here, so I'm not going to sweat that. And I think we did enough on this stuff to get an idea of how you can analyze these programs and do some nice refactoring and play around with swing.